Valiant, Amani, track. There goes your theme music right there.
We are so professional. That is fantastic work. All right, let's get to this thing.
I'm
Man.
done.
Let's get popping.
I'm done.
You know what I mean? What? I thought that was a fantastic. I thought that was lit, son.
That was litty.
There goes your
Big
theme
things
music
are
right
going.
there.
Hey, yo, radio station vibes, man. Turn off your doubles. You know what it is. Hey, how y'all doing? It's the MC Armani Rain, the Valiant MC, the Track MC. We are Roti and Poutine. We needed a new name because Rapper Talk was horrible. We got 2 Guyanese rappers up here and 1 who was representing from Canada, so therefore we came in. Also, the initial spell rap. We wasn't going to tell y'all that, but we're that corny, so there you go.
Yeah.
Valiant's mad. Valiant's mad that I gave you the T. So big up everybody in the chat. I hope everybody's been good. We've been on a little hiatus. I've been away handling
Took
things.
a healthy couple days, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? A little something, a little refresh.
Couple days. That's a couple days.
Get back to the crib, you know what I'm saying? Spark off a little thing here and there. And how you guys been, man? How's the new level of quarantine been treating you?
Well, as you can see, I'm in a new space.
You back home,
which
man.
is really the old space. It's just that we were down in the South for a while, up in Florida, and we decided it was time to come back up, pretty much. And we took our time, a little semi-traveling. You know, we got a little girl, so we can't just bullet through the town. Stopped in Savannah, stopped at Virginia Beach, saw what was going on, and I must say, I'm happy to be back.
Good, man. It's good. It's good. Yeah, we took a trip up to Pennsylvania too to drop the girls off. Man, it's a very interesting drive during these times. I'll tell you that. Wasn't really trying to stop in too many places, you know, cause I'm black. Anyway, so Valiant. Hey, I'll show you a website that'll bother you. Anyway, so Valiant, what's up, man? How you been?
It's been easy for me, man. See, I'm white, and I got a shirt like this, and no one questions me. No, it's kind of the same as it's been. Living out in the sticks, it hasn't really been really bad. So, you know, people are pissed off that they can't sit in restaurants; they can only sit in patios. But that's fine. It hasn't really affected me all that much.
Canada stay kicking Americans' ass in that kind of category. Everybody listening up there.
Kind of, man. There's like this burgeoning anti-mask movement going on in Toronto. And one of the dudes who's in it, tried to like follow me or friend me or whatever the hell you want to say. And I couldn't even do it. I just blocked him. I didn't, I can't. So I just can't deal with that nonsense. I don't understand why people have such a hard time wearing a mask. And what really galls me is that a lot of these mask people, these anti-mask people are like, well, it's my body, my choice. And then half the time these people who are also like anti-choice when it comes to abortion. So it's the weirdest thing ever.
The hypocrite, the hypocrisy.
Oh yeah.
It's just out the window.
Off the charts.
It's not even remotely funny, but
yeah,
it is what it is, man. I've been going through it too. Like I go into Publix and I'm wearing my mask, and then you got people in there who don't wear masks, and then they want to walk up to you and ask you a question. I'm like, bro, I need 6 feet because that's about my arm distance. So I suggest you back up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't got time for that, man. It is what it is. You just wear it out of respect, whether you trying to do it, not trying to do it. I don't care what you believe in, what you don't believe in. I've lost friends and family now at this point that I don't really have a choice. I myself am immune compromised. So we've had this talk every single time we get on the podcast. So basically what we're saying to anybody listening is just put the damn mask on. It's not that serious. Like, what's the problem? Really, honestly. Yeah. Anyway, hope everybody's good. I don't know how many people we got in the chat so far. We have a sick episode. So you're wondering where SS is. Everybody's looking like, wait.
Where's SS?
Where's SS? Why you ain't put SS on?
Where is he?
Y'all said y'all was going to have SS. Did you put that on the flyers so that we would come in here? Yup, we lied. There's no SS this week. I'm joking before you hang up. SS is obviously living in Leicester and decided that he didn't want to try to do the podcast at 3 a.m. with us. So we woke up this morning at 9 a.m. Let me rephrase that. I woke up this morning at 9 a.m. while these two got up at their normal waking hours. And when we got on, apparently Track had been up and made pancakes, banana flavored or something like that. He was trying to convince me to do.
I didn't even get a chance, man. It was just raisin bran,
Okay.
man. Raisin bran.
Just Raisin Bran, that's
I,
all you
I
had?
love raisin.
Goddamn raisin
We're going to talk
bran.
about food a lot coming up, man. Roti and poutine. I forgot to ask SS what his favorite food was, so before that goes down, we're just going to go with that. So I want people to know that roti is my bucket list. That is my Green Mile thing. Like, if you're going to ask me what I want before I die, I want my grandmother to make me some roti and some curry chicken, some potatoes and carrots, and I'm in heaven. I'm in heaven.
I'm with that. I'm with that.
What about you? What's your bucket list? What's your Green Mile food?
T, you go first.
Oh, me? Oh, y'all
Yeah.
putting a lot of pressure on the boy.
It's not that serious. I went
Well,
first.
as Guyanese as I can get, I gotta put pepper pot on there. You know, pepper pot is love.
Okay.
Love.
Okay.
I can't even get into it. Look it up. Trust me, it's great. A good roti, man. Dal puri. You know, come on, don't get me started right now, man.
Yeah, I mean, we'll pick one thing we can go with.
I you know,
We plan on
well,
doing this again next Thursday, so we can talk
Yeah,
more.
yeah. Well, for this week, it's pepper pot for me.
All
All
right,
right,
pepper
It's just-
pot.
that's what I'll die with.
I love pepper pot, man. I miss that.
Yeah,
I loved
man.
it, actually. What about you, Valiant?
I don't know, man. I think I find that my comfort food for the past like 15 years has always been like chana masala and like fresh naan.
Okay.
And then, but to see the important part of this is the dessert. What's your bucket list dessert? Because mine would be like tiramisu. That's like my favorite dessert. Period.
All right,
Homemade.
so-
I had homemade tiramisu all last week.
It's gotta be
man.
good, man.
Yeah,
Folks,
my
get
man
me
MJ's in
started.
the chat. Yo, he knows I got a sweet tooth like none other. I can't pick
Oh,
one thing.
dude, I can't. It's
can't.
off the rails.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, classic dessert for me, if I must say. I should probably put this on the rider at some point here and there.
Ooh, don't.
It's I'm a simple man. Apple pie with like rum raisin over the top. I'm happy.
Dude.
You know what I mean?
Rum raisin,
Rum
really?
raisin. Okay.
All right.
Rum raisin. Hey, I'll take vanilla, but rum raisin is where it's at for me. You know what I mean?
Apple pie is that's pretty
Yeah,
good.
I'm
a
cherry-
good
I'm a cherry
good
pie
apple
guy.
turnover works. Yeah.
I like cherry pie more than apple pie. I'm a
What
cherry
cherry-
pie.
Cherry pie's good.
Yeah,
It's
cherry
good. It's good.
pie is
I ain't know.
No, don't do that. I know when y'all throwing shade. We've been doing this long enough. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess I'd eat that trash. Look, cherry pie is legit. Okay, cherry pie, brownies. My wife's been actually killing it. She just decided during quarantine she was going to learn how to make cheesecakes, and she did that.
Oh, I make a good cheesecake. I'm not
Why
gonna try to brag.
You trying to
I make.
my wife? I didn't even finish the.
She's not here. She's not here. So you know.
Hey, Sugar Brat, what's good? Let me see all my early
Sugar
birds
Brat,
in here,
what's
man.
up, man?
What's good? All my early Lieutenant Reed's in here. MJ's in here moderating.
Reed.
Hometown ATL in the building. Was good. Reed's
Shout
in
it.
here. Sugar Brat, 18. We got people coming through, man. We're gonna have a good time. It's good to be back on a Thursday. We had a good talk with S today, man. We had a real good talk.
We had a really productive talk with him as well,
Yeah,
man.
you know. No smoke.
yeah.
No smoke. So
No
anybody
smoke.
tuning in looking for smoke? We ain't-
No.
I
Don't
think
let them
it's
do
important though. He talked about us. You know what I mean? He talked about us being stateside and what the future could bring and the things that need to be handled. And no, I'm not blowing anything. I just want y'all to know how much the care is from the outside of the world. So,
Absolutely.
and I think
I
it's
was-
very
I was
animated guy too. For the
Oh, yeah, this is the dude.
I was really blown away. I don't want to say blown away. I was really impressed though, because as someone from UK, I do not normally come across people who have sort of what seems to be an intimate, practical knowledge of the workings of the local scenes across the country.
Mhm.
And as someone from the UK, having a vested interest in each local scene in the States and in Canada, and I'm sure wherever else they go, like he knows it all because he's constantly touring, and he's got probably as a result has one of the most. I said this in the write up on IG, like one of the most unique perspectives when it comes to being a drum bass artist, globally speaking, than anybody I've ever really come across.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I was super excited to have him on. Like I said, I've been friends with him from the beginning. If his tape is what got me into drum bass, but we chat about all that in there. So why don't we get to it? We've got We're going to be in the chat for everybody listening. Obviously, if you asked me to ask him a question, this wasn't live. So, but I'll be in the
Right.
chat. We'll be in the chat. We'll be talking around, having a drink or two, and then we're going to play some music afterwards. So stick around. I hope you guys enjoy what we got for you. It's Roti and Poutine. This is the track MC, the Valiant MC, myself and Monty Rain. And this is our interview with the one and only Formation Records, DJ SS.
Yeah. Ask me a lot
So,
of questions.
so yeah. So my mom used to give me coffee when I was like as early as like 5 years old. She would give me coffee with cream and sugar, and so now, I mean, that never stopped. It's
What's
my
she
mom's
trying-
fault.
What's she
That
trying
mug.
to keep you awake?
I mean, yo, hey, this is back.
Trying to stunt your growth.
This is 1980. You know what I mean? Like my mom did not realize, I think, the caffeine.
Coffee, a pack of cigarettes. There you go.
I think that's
She
the
would
case. We
smoke
were
her
all
cigarettes. I would have my coffee. My mom would be smoking her cigarette and drinking her coffee. Yeah, that was.
right.
It was a different time, man.
Let's
It was
get
a
down to
different
business.
time.
Hold on. Let's do the intros. Yo, what up, everybody? My name is MC Armani Rain. You got the MC track, the MC Valiant. We have a very special guest on what is no longer called Rapid Talk. We've probably discussed this already, but it is now called Roti and Poutine because that's how we get down. Shout
That's
out
how
to
we get
my
down.
crew, my Canada crew. We are here with the legend, one and only. We're here with the legend.
SS is in the building,
SS Formation.
representing.
How you feeling, brother? How are you?
Representing, man, my family, yo, stateside, UK to stateside.
Yes.
Remember that rhythm there, UK to stateside.
Yeah, bro.
Bro, we go back history. You know
Just
what I mean?
so everybody knows, we are recording this early because S doesn't want to be hang out with us at 3 a.m. So we are now in strange territories. I got my
With my
coffee.
territory right now.
Yeah, it's 9 a.m.
2 p.m. here, man. Yo, you gotta get working right. The early bird catches all the worms. You know that, innit?
The
Yeah,
worms are out. Let me explain. They are out. I already
Yeah.
been on 3 calls this morning. Like,
what?
oh,
Look at you.
for
You
a
fancy. Yeah, I went to
limited
bed
moment.
late, so you're gonna have to excuse me this morning. But yeah, man, DJ SS, Mr.
The
Formation,
legend. Yes.
World of Drum and Bass, all the accolades you could possibly think of.
Formation. Come on, man. We go through
You know what I mean?
accolades after
If you're gonna make a
accolades.
documentary, you should make one with you in it. Anyway, so what's good, man? How are you?
Boy, I'm just here representing in these times. I'm taking the positivity from it, really. I'm being creative in these times. This is really, to be honest, it's been a good time for me because normally I'm on road. You know what it is? It's a hustle being an artist. So you've got to go out there hustling, doing what we do. I've had a chance to like sit down, rethink, work on loads of music. We've got loads of projects, restructure the label, signed artist, making a plan for coming out the other side. So, because you know, in these times, you've got to come out of it better than you came into this thing.
Say word.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Absolutely.
restructuring the whole business frame model, world of drum bass, the whole thing. Looking at it, you know, there's been a lot of tension going on the net through the whole industry, whole music industry, the whole society thing.
Right.
I've got to look at it where I'm playing my role. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Really, as a businessman that's been in the game 30 years with the longest standing label as going as
Say it again. Say it for the people in the back.
Yeah, the longest standing label in drum and bass releasing every year, man. We're here.
Yes,
We
indeed.
made it, yo. We
And
made
people don't
it.
understand too. You know, this Corona hit you pretty hard. I mean, you were literally on the way to the show here in Atlanta when we had to cancel this whole thing down. Right?
Yeah. Oh,
That was
New York, the whole thing. But everything
heartbreaking.
happens for a reason, man. Do you know what I
for
mean?
sure.
You got to look at this thing now and think the whole world got shut down.
Yeah.
Not just this place, that place, the absolute whole world was stuck at home, which is just, when you think about it, insane. If someone would have said that
That's
last
crazy.
week, you're all going to be at home and not be able to leave your yard. Everybody
Everyone.
would laugh at them, say, nah, you're crazy. But it happens, man. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to just look at what we can do positively because the thing's going to change. Coming out the other side, everything's going to change. All the same. So we've got to find creative ways to do our things, really.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of a renaissance moment to me. Like it made people sit back and like really think about what they're doing, create some substance in what they're doing. You know, not to brag on anybody in specific, because I've seen it from several people who were like afraid to make music because they couldn't play it at a club. And that was kind of a check to yourself. Like, why is the club the thing to do? You should make music because you want to make music. You find out what you're doing and why you're doing it. This is one of the best times to actually sit back and really connect with not just the fans but with yourself and what you're trying to do. So I see you busy a lot. You've done 2 live streams. You got another one coming up in the Minecraft thing. You've been working, man. You got the little fancy setup behind you, looking all pro, making the rest of us look like we just woke up at 9 a.m.
We're just trying to keep it creative, keep it moving, really. But for the first 6 weeks, I wasn't interested in the live stream because I'm like, there's people dying out here.
Right.
You know, literally. And man, have concentrated, promoting themselves. Come on now.
Right.
Take a pause. The whole reason we paused because of everyone was being selfish. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it was a time to sit back and reflect. Now I can understand, the ravers and people wanted to be entertained, but there's a time for entertainment and there's a time for living. You know what I mean? And taking really, like just what you says, what is our contribution as individuals? What are we contribution to this planet? Do you know what I'm saying? What is our legacy? Are we just meant to get up?
Legacy.
Yeah, get up, go back like robots. Come on back, earn as much money as we can, and then do what? Come on, man, we've got to be doing something more positive out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you are restructuring the label, restructuring how you're doing business and stuff like that. Can you get into any specifics as to how that's going to work going forward in the post-COVID era? Yeah,
well, for me, the whole label side of it, I kind of sat back a bit because when you're dealing with this mentality of the new school artist or certain artists, it's very selfish. You know what I mean? Very kind of selfish.
Even in quarantine? Good Lord.
You know what I mean? And they have to be. I understand that. But my walk is different. This ain't business bit. My thing, I deal with people now. When I'm working with or signing an artist, I work with the person. If I can't get on with a person or I don't think that person is right, I don't care how much money you're going to make me. I've been down the road when I've signed artists. I know there are going to be problems, but they're going to make money. I'm not entertaining it because my thing now is peace. You know what I mean? Cool, mellow vibes, working with white people. I don't want people calling my phone saying, "Oh, did you hear what he did? Did you see what he posted?" You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, I just want everything to be simple and positive. So the whole label side, I kind of like just not eased off, just concentrating on world drum and bass. World drum and bass, hit to the road, pushing it forward. And then I had to just stop and think. When you stop and look at your catalogue and look who you've worked with, you think, wow, have I done that? Did he do a tune for me? And it makes you think, I need to get back to what I started this thing, helping people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I will say too, as you were one of the first international DJs to ever give me a look ever, you've always been based on integrity and working with the people. It's always been like a fun thing. It's never really been a business thing between you and I. It was like, how can we just make this work? All the world drum bass tours, it's always been with artists that just want to make it work. So you've been at the forefront of doing things out of an integrity and just having the love for it itself. Like I tell people all the time, when I started my career with Gasm Crew and Ill Skills and all that, but Kenny Ken and then you were the first 2 international DJs to put me on. I've told you a million times that your mixtape from Something's Jungle of you, Skibbity, and Foxy changed my life. You know what I mean? So like linking up with you was like bucket list thing at the time, so it was just like, we're really happy to see how much work you've put in all of these years and how much you put into your legacy based on integrity and making sure things is straight. So we're super proud of you, man. And, I think you should get your flowers now is basically what I'm trying to say.
Speaking of flowers. Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Yeah. My whole philosophy, when I sat up in this game, nobody helped us. You know what I mean? We had no help whatsoever. We had to literally get up, leave our little city. Because you got to remember, Leicester is country compared to London.
Yeah, man.
So we was classed as outsiders. So no one really helped us. So we had to do it our own way. And because I had a good business partner, he was business, and I was creative, it allowed me to be creative. Really, it allowed me to do what I needed to do and experiment. And we just got lucky at the time. And then music was free. Anything goes. You could just do anything, mishmash music, and just trial and error. Now it's a bit predictable. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's working to formulas, and it has to be this way and that way. And that's not what this thing was about. It was all about a vibe. Do you know what I'm saying? And when you go into a thing and then you go down a path and you're dealing with loads of artists and you're working internationally and you have to change your perspective and you think you're running a business now because you employed 6-7 people in the office and stuff like that. You look at things differently. So it's like business. And I lost the love of what I was supposed to be doing. That made sense. And you're dealing with these people that you brought from literally nothing. I'm talking about putting up in the houses, putting them in the studio, buying their equipment, literally changing lives. And then you see them and they're looking at you like, hold on a minute, but you didn't do this. You didn't do that. And I just thought to myself, mate, I'm so glad. I wish it was now. Yeah, right. I'm glad that the whole thing changed, where the MP3 came and the sales went low and it was all pocket change, because it made the reality to some of these selfish artists. You know what I'm saying? That you have to work. Yeah. You have to earn the respect out here. They didn't come from the grassroots. So it changed my perspective, like dealing with the kind of music side of things, because I wanted to be working with people to help them. Do you know what I mean? Like, yo, look here. So that whole thing, like you're saying about the label, the way I'm trying to do it now with artists, I want to set them up. They're coming with us as exclusive, but I want to set them as their own entrepreneurs, so they can go away and do their thing themselves. I want to teach them how to run a business, not just to be an artist. First, get your trade right, but I want them to teach them. Think, yo, this is what I learned. This is what I can show you. Do you know what I mean? These are the experience. This is the pitfall. Not just send me a demo and speak to you 6 months time, or when you got or you know what I mean? Not that. I want to work with the people. Do you know what I'm saying? Literally training. I'm doing training as part of my contract. One-to-ones. Studio. You know what I mean? I've all put it in because I've looked at the mistakes that we've made and what we didn't do and what we could have done. Do you understand what I mean? So I'm implicating different processes in the product. So I'm like, all right, I want to be able to take a team of my people with me. Yeah, this is what I bought from these guys from scratch. I want brand new artists. I don't want artists that come from that place and that place that I work with. I'm looking for new talent, that want to learn. That's what we bought this thing for. So they can experience. We're setting up a new label called Future Formation. We've had the brand. The brand was a rave brand. It was just events, and my partner ran it. He's ran it up north for years, and we're setting up a label just for new artists.
Nice.
Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Some of them, I'm like, stop formation-y, but it can work for that, and let the young guys run with it. You understand what I mean? You have to let the young bloods run with it, and that's the biggest problem I see with America. You ain't got young bloods coming in this thing.
We're working on that. We talk about that every single week, man.
Experience, because the old guard, the professionals, got kids, got responsibilities, jobs and stuff like that. You need them young buds running about the streets doing the grass work.
Going crazy,
Going crazy, keeping the vibe. Because what they're doing is coming in, jumping into trap, dubstep, whatever, and drum and bass is getting bypassed. So you think about it in 5 years' time, what's your scene going to be?
It's a good question, though. I'm not really trying to attempt to answer that, to be honest. But I will say that there's been a curiosity, and it always starts with curiosity. They're looking in, they're trying to relate to what they might relate to, but the whole fast thing is intimidating to a lot of per se American dance listeners. It's it's the one it's the one spot that sometimes needs to be explained, but then they come to, like, let's say a World of Drum and Bass or whoever might be in town, and they see what's going on. I will say this, Leroy. I think your sets that's traditionally coming to the States have always been about all the classics, and I appreciate that more than anything else, because I think that you need to play this. I'm thinking that you need to play this because there's going to be a whole new set of people here who are just getting introduced to drum and bass. So, you know.
Yeah. I do that because I've got 5 guys that are going to go and play what they need to play. My job is, and when I'm doing the tour, it's very difficult for me because I'm the tour manager, I'm the artist liaison, I'm the this, I'm the that. So creatively, it's a struggle. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, let me just do what I need to do, warm up for the guys, and then guys could do it. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it was more that kind of, yeah, let's get this party popping. Let's go. Now you, man. That's why
it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh that you're like, yeah, I just throw something together and there's such crazy sets. It's just like, yeah, I was just, you know,
vibe. Yeah, but it's a vibe. It's all about a vibe. You know what I mean? This is what we got into this thing. If you got the vibe and you got the music, bro, I'll get music sent to me an hour before I play, and if I like it, I'm playing it. You know what I mean? Forget the predictability. It's all about the music. It always will be. But as I love the Americans because of my connection, my friends. That's why I love it. You know what I mean? I can go and see this man here, that man there. I love that. I love that. It's just the politics I struggle with the politics, man. The gang.
We all do.
Politics everywhere.
You know what I mean? Politics, like, I don't get it. I'm like, why don't you link with him and you link with him and you link with him and you guys all do your own tour? Yeah.
I think that's what held America back the most, and we're doing better in that now. I will say that. I'm sure you've noticed in the last couple of years you've been coming by with World of Drum Bass and who you've been talking to. There's definitely a buzz for USD&B right now that's starting to bubble again, and it's coming from the youth. So that's why I said we're going to be a little patient, especially we'll see what happens with this whole COVID and the way everybody's been home. People are like really looking into producing. There's a lot of old guard that's coming back in, making some music and helping out the younger generation. Got the Simplified thing, man. Kind of following your Wu-Tang-esque style of doing things, man. Like, you know, you've been throwing part. Let's see, how long has World Drum Bass been going on now?
This would have been the 23rd year or 22nd.
23 years, man. That's. I mean, like some of the parties from WMC on down, like legendary. You've always included everyone. I mean, it's the World of Drum Bass. You know, we used to do all the shows in Miami. We had a Philly night in there. The Substitution Room was crazy. We've had many memorable nights with Skibba and all these cats just come through, man. And then I tell people all the time, one of the craziest drum bass parties I've ever been to was with you in Russia.
Oh yeah,
bro. I've walked into a stadium of 80,000 people. I've never seen that before. It was like it's the first time crazy. First time crazy, and I walked into an arena and just stood there for a second, like, okay, this is what's supposed to be happening.
That's when you get on your knees and you pray. And be like, all right,
bro. I MC'd on top of a Red Bull Hummer. I was like, what is happening right now? Where am I?
I think about this whole thing is you don't really appreciate it until you look back afterwards and think, wow, did we do that? I'm just like, I'm a blasé about it. Now I'm starting to take it in more. I'm starting to appreciate a lot more. That's why my links, like I say to you, yeah, I got you, let's link, because I've always believed in the link concept. Yo, let's build this thing, because at the end of the day, if America grows, it's best for all of us.
Oh my God, don't say that too loud. They'll take and run with it.
I've said that, and you know, we do. Reason why I think we've been successful with the tour because we do it ourselves.
Yeah.
When certain agents get involved doing their thing, they don't want to deal with the small guys. You got to deal with that little man on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. You know what I mean? And help them build their little thing because they could be the next decent promoter at the weekend. Do you know what I'm saying? And when you're trying to bring partners across, it's no good them sitting paying hotel bills for a week and then they're only working weekends. Do you know what I'm saying? You've got to give them incentives. The people want to work. Do you know what I'm saying? If you love this music, you want to work. And to help America grow, you have to make it. America's so big and has so much
real
estate to it. Yeah, you have to come big.
So that brings to mind. Actually, you mentioned him before. Brian up in Kitchener, Brazine.
Brazine, Peaceful Entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. And what they have done, which is you have to understand, like Toronto itself is like kind of its own drone-based galaxy, and they are removed from Toronto by a good hour.
Yeah.
And they're doing parties in Cambridge and then up in Kitchener. And they've done these parties that were basically like private. You have to RSVP for them in an intimate space, big sound system, and getting these headliners in that you would not normally see in a room this small.
Yeah.
Everyone that's there is there for the party. They're there for that music.
It's very old school feeling, I'd say.
Absolutely. And like what they've done has been incredible.
Yeah.
And the thing is like the fact that World of Drum and Bass, among others, has been willing to give a promoter like that that kind of cachet is really important. And that's one thing that World of Drum and Bass I've always been impressed by, is you've always been willing to go to places and rooms that were not necessarily like the mega room, and that is like incredibly important. And you bring up a good point about America. I would argue Canada as well. North America is huge, and I've always felt that it's not just the promoters and the DJs; it's also the consumers have never really been willing to give American artists a shot. And I think that's more important now than ever, is investing in American artists and American labels. But the consumer in America has to buy into that. And that's been kind of the puzzle that we have to try to solve. And I'm not an expert on how to do that by any means. I'm just bringing it up.
I think that there's quite a few ways around that. You just link, you just make associations. You make American labels, you make associations like, yo, SS, can you do a remix for me or such and such? Because people go by brands, yeah? I tell you, doing it really well. L Print, you know what I mean? Them guys were doing it really well for a while, doing the merch, doing events. I just think they went too big, they tried to expand too quickly, I think. But he had it on T, he was getting people to do tunes. But because it's exactly the same thing, he probably didn't get the support that they needed. Investment maybe ran out and stuff, but they did it correctly. Do you know what I mean? And you've got to put the time in. You've got to put the time in. Because you know, it's like anything. If you see quality over there, and then someone tries to bring it here, and it's not good quality, you're still gonna go for quality. Do you know what I'm saying? Right. So you have to be semi-matching what's going there to the best of ability. You know what I'm saying? And
I also think it's played. I also think the States needs to market things differently. I think a lot of our marketing towards drum and bass is geared towards what works in the UK. I've been a strong advocate of telling people to respect what's going on over there, but don't necessarily make tunes just to be on over there. You know what I mean? Like, we have to harness our own marketing, our own style of things, and make it our own, which is what we're doing now. And I feel like Valiant's touched on this a lot. We need to start more American labels and making sure that we all are working together, because this place is so big. It's not going to work if we're all doing this separately. It's just not. And the best times for USDNB is when we all have that buzz going and we are creating something that's more than just a hashtag. Like, it's getting better, but it's always been a marketing thing for me, man. And getting help from the outside is great, and the cosign obviously helps. But for you, like, for instance, we can just go back to how you run World of Drum and Bass. Like, you have certain pockets that are represented by certain people. It's not just you trying to be the overlord of things. You trust in people in their certain sedges to handle their areas, and then we just do everything out of the love. Like, that's important, and not everybody does that. So, you know what I mean? I think if we can continue that type of mentality and adapt that here in America, we will do much, much better.
You think about it, how you've got to look at the most successful business model in drum and bass is Planet of the Drums. Yeah. Well, they should be 10. There should have been 10, 15 Planet of the Drums.
I've been saying that. Do you
know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, is with you three there and a good DJ, just like when I do with yes, you can't tell me you can't go smash America. Think about it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's why we're working on something.
Your concept, what's working for you in your thing? Because we go to America and the parties are popping. Do you know what I mean? People say America's this and that, and I go and think, yo, even the small places.
I try to tell people, man, they don't want to listen. They think we're just making that up.
Hey, well, we went to, where did we go? We went to, it's a Tuesday night. Oh, what's the place called?
Tuesday nights, Elements?
Indianapolis. Mate, it's a Tuesday night.
DMB.
Yeah.
Mate,
Okay.
Tuesday night, bro. But we went there, and I was just like, I'm thinking, yo, the guys were like, seen the tour, and they came on late. Like, it must have been about 3.5 weeks. I wanted to do a little thing. I thought, it's Tuesday, let's try it. So I was like, but they was keen. Bro, they went they invested, bro. They got 200 people on a Tuesday, bro. 190
Which is crazy.
on a Tuesday night, mate.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, because they took the gamble and they invested, we helped them out properly, cheap, but it's a
Right.
Tuesday. You know what I'm saying?
You want. Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people like you out there who will lower that price to make it work. That's what the problem is you got a lot of promoters and agents that aren't working together to make it work. It's like, this is your fee and this is or nothing. And then the smaller places lose out and there's no grassroots there. It's like, we need to support the smaller shows.
That's the biggest problem you're going to have with America. Because I try to book American artists off American agents, and it's like, hold on a minute. Oh, no, they won't come down for that price. They said, it's a Tuesday. What do you mean? What are you going to do? Make him pay his own hotel for the week? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's that, mate? And I'm just like, actually, that's why certain things are getting it wrong. It shouldn't be about the artists, because what are the artists doing at home on a Tuesday? They're sitting at home playing PlayStation. So they can't tell me they can't go and play in a club for like $400. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Or you want to pay out your own hotel money. Come on now. You've got to think about this. You've got to think about I always think about the bigger picture. If you help that scene, help that thing grow, everybody grows. It's a long-term project.
The thing is, though, is and this is, I'm not trying to slag anybody here, but UK artists have been using the United States and Canada as a piggy bank for 20 years. And so, in my opinion, a lot of those artists are not really concerned with the welfare of the scene here. They're concerned about making their money here.
You know who are that's where you know who the real artists are when they come through. There's a difference. There's influence, and then there's just something that happened to disappear. And it's just that managing. I honestly think this conversation is exciting as fuck, simply because this is where my mind has always been on. This is where I've been trying to. I realize the power of influence is everything, and we have a chance to be at the forefront of really pushing that influence far beyond its next expectations or whatever. I think, what we're doing with Simplify, the new artists coming up. I just saw Winslow get a write-up in UFK or something like that, and I'm looking, and it's, to me, again, it's just exciting. It's just really exciting.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of I think, of just connecting those dots. Like I say to Amani behind the scenes all the time, how my first time coming down to Atlanta was like, there's Atlanta has drum and bass. I was like, what? You know what I mean? Like, that's, to me, super exciting, So it's the mic. You got to deal with the microcosms. Small, this town, that town, that. What is this? Well, let's give them something they realize within their paradigm that goes, all right, this can, because drum and bass is sort of universal. Right. So we can find ways to just link it into places. But of course, it's one step after the next. You know what I mean? So,
gotta get the youth.
Well, it's also, and you nailed it. We've spoken about it once or twice here. That was the main thing with Semper Fi of us starting up with. Now we're up to what, 13 MCs, to kind of follow in the same footsteps as SAS did. It was like, why couldn't we do that? Just because we're spread out with technology the way it is, there's no reason why we all shouldn't be making music together. So it's kind of like the same thing with the plan of the drums, but MCs. It's like, let's take this thing, brand it. Everyone can still do what they need to do outside of it. There's no kind of obligations or exclusivity, but like, why are we not pushing the forefront of us being lyricists? And then we can take that anywhere. World Drum Bass comes here, you've got MCs for days. No matter where you go, we're all connected. Everything's good. You keep the branding moving, and we're starting to lock into that. It started out with just 8 of us on a car bars, and it's now 13 MCs, like all trying to push for a better tomorrow. So, yeah, man, I think as long as we keep this thing going, and especially now that things have taken a step back and we've been able to look at it differently when shows start up again, whether it's doing live streams or what the technical prowess of that. But I think it's made people dig a little deeper. And for those who can't dig deeper, then, there's that.
Hey, so SS, thinking about how long World of Drum and Bass has been around and all, I know I want to ask you 2 questions, but I'll start with the first one, which is pretty much a little bit more happier. Sort of ideal is, any amazing stories you would like to share about while on tour or World of Drum and Bass?
People ask me that. It's just, there's been so many. There's been so many where you think, yeah, you know, different places where you go. I went to a place in America. I went to, where was it? North Carolina, Raleigh.
Riley.
Oh yeah, Raleigh Durham.
And this guy came up to me in the car park. He went, "S, a British guy. Who's this guy? British guy." He chats, "I've been here for 10 years and stuff. I used to listen to you back in the day." And I'm like, yeah, same old, yeah. And he chatted to me, said, "Look, mate," he says, "I've came over here, met my wife, became a Christian. I'm a youth leader and stuff. And God has been challenging me." And I'm like, right. He said, "Because it's like, I love this music. And then I come and see you on a flyer." He went, "SS, oh, you're a Christian, blah, blah, blah." He said, "Oh my God, I got this revelation." He explained his story. It was so deep. And he said, "You know what? This has just given me a new lease of life." And as a Christian, as me, you know what I mean? And someone coming out there and picking it. I videoed him. I'm just like, wow. Because you got where I'm coming from, how I see things differently now through the whole music concept. Because my thing is more about life. That experience I seen there, that guy was like, "Should I go to a venue? Should I do this? Should I do that?" And he's like, "Yo, no, I love the music. I'm not segregating it from that." It was just the experience that we connected.
Right.
Different from my other side of my world. Do you understand what I'm saying? I was like, America, that, and it was British, and it was like, yo, there's been loads of stuff in Russia that's going on. I had a bad experience in my own party, really, last year. Never happened to me before.
What?
What's that about?
The thing is, I was on the stage doing the hosting thing. Been doing Russia, Moscow for 12 years, and I seen some guy like just waving at the front like that, smiling, and then he kept coming back. It's like, you know, through the night I kept seeing him like you do, you know what I'm saying? Like you do,
Right.
like that. Yeah. And then later on he came back, he started giving that, the monkey thing. I was like, I thought to myself, no, listen, I thought, never happened to me, ever. I thought to myself, oh, he must be like, and then he went, done the Nazi sign, bruv. Like that, Nazi sign. And then everyone was around him, like, kind of pushed him, "What you doing?" Do you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, forget it. But it shook me, because I've never seen it.
You got it mixed up one night.
You know what I mean? You got to remember, this was party. It was about 5,000 people at this party. So I thought to myself, I'm there, and I'm like, yo, in my own rave, yo. And I've had to sit down. Then an hour later, he's gone away. Hour later, he's came back, done the same thing, bro. I've run off the stage. Listen, I ran off the stage, mate. Jumped past security, and I've confronted him. And I've picked it with my cap. Like, I just lost it. And then all the ravers came round, and they was like behind me, like, yeah, what, yeah. So they kind of didn't attack him, but they was there, like saying, "What you doing?" Security jumped on him, and then it was just weird. He whispered in the security's ears. He said to me, and they stopped. They backed off. Then he whispered another one, and they backed off. And I thought, what's going on here? And there was like they didn't want to touch him, like he said, "I'm mafia" or something like that to him. I don't care. Bro, the head security came from the middle of right at the front of the thing. 5,000 people, he came and said, "What's going on?" And they told him, he just grabbed this guy by his neck and dragged him through the venue, bro.
Wow.
I didn't say nothing. I didn't tell my partners. I didn't say nothing, not a word. I just thought to myself, no. You got to think it, because it's never happened to me, and it's not like you go to Russia and it's racist. That's not what it's like at all.
It's not.
It's not that there. It's got pure love, but the experience shook me. When I'm in COVID now, I'm sitting down speaking to my Russian partners, and I've explained to them. I said, you know what? I'm looking at my business, and this is not where I really want it to go. As I set up World of Drum and Bass to be universal. It's very EDM-y now over there. Do you know what I'm saying? It's very same, like you see on them other. And I don't want that. Do you know what I'm saying? I want the mans to be on it. You know what I mean? I want new artists to be on it. I want it. That's what I bought it for. And it was just it had too predictable about it. And I would explain to them, and they was cool. They said, yeah, going forward. But it shook me. And I just told them, you know, I got racially abused at my own rave last year. And they were like, no. Like, they was like, surprised. I didn't tell them. I only told them, like, what? This was September, 6 months after the fact. But I had to explain to people, said, now in these times, that's what one of the changes. I've got to look at what I'm doing with my brand.
Right.
You know, who am I influencing? What changes am I making? Do you know what I'm saying? What positivity we put in there? Do you know what I'm saying?
It's bigger, and it's because the situation is bigger than that. You know what I mean? Like, we have a responsibility to make sure it doesn't matter about how you did things in the past or how things normally fly. You need to process new information and adjust and change your ways and be a little different than you used to be. You can be bigger than your flaws, and to carry that into business and it's not just about the business, especially us in the music industry who just like comedy or certain other mediums, what we say has weight and what we do has weight. And when you have something as big as World of Drum and Bass, you want to make sure that respected integrity, you know what I'm saying, reverberates through everything you do. So yeah, people don't understand too how much things that we take and don't speak about. Like,
Yeah,
who
you
would know
gave
that?
me backflashes on
You know what I'm
that
saying?
too.
Like, we've all been through something like that before.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
don't
hell
say
yeah.
anything about it because those are the times. We're done. We're not doing it anymore. Anything that comes in our forward, we're going to point it out and we're going to deal with it. So, you know, it's crazy that and you think about that too, like you, SS, World Drum Bass.
Yeah,
A
like
year ago. You've been 22 years at that point of doing this tour over and over. I've been to Russia with. I told you, it's one of the best parties I ever did.
Never
And yet
happened
you
to me. This is what
still,
I'm trying to say.
it's wild, man.
And it shocked me. I thought it would happen in the early days. Yeah,
No,
and it never happened to me because that guy wasn't a raver. Do you know what I'm saying? He went just like, you know, a big night. He just come out because I've never seen him at any of our raves. Do you know what I'm saying? He weren't a raver, and I took it like that. He's not one of the regulars. I've never seen him before. He was young as well. He must have been 22.
or just somebody let him outside.
You know what I mean? He must be young. That's what I'm trying to say. It was all young. But I just look at that. I just looked at it. I thought, there, you know, whatever. I didn't take it in. But when you're sitting back in these times and looking what's going on, I'm thinking, hold on a minute, 3,000 people, and I'm the only black person in this venue.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's how I look at it now. I said, yo, I've got to bring a couple with me or something. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right, for sure.
Maybe you can see some kind of color. You know what I mean? Or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I've got to influence it. If we can't influence it, what am I doing it for? Do you know what I'm saying?
That brings to mind the current situation, though. I mean, obviously the times, racially speaking, are fraught with a lot of tension. There's a lot of conversations happening. But within drum and bass, there's a lot of conversations happening regarding race. Obviously, there was a Hospital Records blow up. There's the question of diversity in drum and bass has been a long simmering discussion. With that kind of double dose of COVID-19 forcing everyone to sort of do a lot of self-reflecting and a lot of changes to their business models. And the fact that you are, representing the longest continually running record label in drum and bass is a black-owned label, a black-owned drum and bass entity in the world of drum and bass. So how is that making you reflect on, I guess, race and diversity in drum and bass? World of drum and bass has obviously been a spectrum, you know, with Tantrum Desire and you and Sound Bassline Smith and the Prototypes. It's like kind of like it's like quite the mix.
All of them,
but it's a mix that you don't really get in a lot of different aspects of drum and bass. So where are you standing on all that?
I don't see no color. I've never seen color in music. Yeah, that's how I seen it. My philosophy is that even when I go Russia, I played Surgut, which is Siberia. When I mean Siberia, yo.
Right.
The polar bears on. You get me, yo? I have to go through 3 different airports to get there. And I walk through airports and you see that. Your man's twisting 360 to look at you. My thinking is, that's not my destination. My destination is that rave. Yeah? So where I got to go to get there, that's not important to me. Yeah? That's society. I'm just passing through. But when I go to the event, I know I'm going to get love. So that's what brings me on. Do you know what I'm saying? So when I seen all this, I spoke to Tony as well, and all the racial tension.
Right.
Yeah, I had a conversation. Tony played world drum and bass. Tony was at that party where I got racially abused, in fact, yo. Yeah, but I didn't tell none of them. I didn't say nothing to them because it weren't important. But when it comes to this thing, yeah, don't wait. To me, this is my point of view. Situations that happened, yeah, certain people are waiting 2 years to tell their story. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, you know, I'm bringing it to light. Yes, certain things could have done better and went a better way, and they could be more black people. But where are they? I'm telling you, I'm a black label owner. and I've got black artists with me, yeah? When I go to the dances, there's no black people in there. So you can't say, yeah, there should be black artists coming through. When you look at the raves, and there ain't no black people there. The black people are listening to grime. You know what I mean? House, garage, and whatnot. So it's what the music we're making is not appealing to them. It's that simple. So we can't say, oh, there's not enough black people in drum and bass and blah, 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 blah. We ain't making black music. Do you know what I'm saying?
Damn!
And that's the real problem that comes there. There's a lot of noise going on. But you see stuff that you and Brian are doing with the old soulful thing. That will bring people back. Them vibes there.
Okay. Now that's the key word, as you said, bring people back, because there was a lot of that being made before. It's just not being made now.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. It's very. And you got to look at the
clarifying for the people out there.
In the UK, you got to look at the scene. There's a divide. There's this middle class. It's not racial. People are getting it twisted. It's not racial. It's social. Yeah, it's the middle class that taking over the scene. Yeah, right. Then you got us under beef, and they're trying to hold us down because we ain't got the right look, or we're not repping what they're doing. Because you got a jump up movement. Not my thing musically, but you got some sick producers, and they're getting way, way better now. As they get bigger, you see they start going to the other side.
Yep.
Yeah, but they've got a movement, bro. When I mean they've made waves, you don't see them getting represented on big channels. Yeah, you don't see them because it's like, nah, that's the common. You know, that the project kids. Yeah, so that's what's happening now. It's not racial, it's social. Because you see all these, you only got to look up certain things. You see these trendy artists, you know, it's like, yeah. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute. I don't see no brothers out there. I don't see that young jump up kid that's been killing all the raves. He's out every week on there. You know what I mean? It's like, hold on a minute. We've got to represent it all. Yeah? Whether we like jump up, whether we like tech, whether we like liquid, whether we like jungle, it's all one melting pot. That's what this thing was, unified. Yeah.
So, I was gonna say I think that was what that the documentary that got, cracked up and broken apart. I think that's what they were trying to explain in that overall picture of the drum and bass, the movement, is that there are different dynamics. But I just wanted to say that. That's all. Go ahead.
I also think, as much as to us, we recognize things as being a class issue. We're America. We're at the forefront of classism here. I do think there is a conversation to be had about the racial divide on what causes some of that classism fight. I don't want to say it is the catalyst of all things, but I mean, it's definitely heavily influenced by that. And the thing about world drum bass, not world drum bass, the thing about drum bass as a whole, and I think I've touched on this before, because like I said, I never wanted to make Hospital the poster child for a situation that's happening throughout music, period. They took the brunt of they took the heaviest blow for obvious reasons. But it's just like, I do feel that, like what you said, we aren't marketing that as much. It's almost like a lot of people black people don't play baseball because the money's not there. We tell them to play football or basketball, that's where it's at, and then influences go there, and then now the baseball is suffering. I feel the same is for drum and bass. It's like, there are plenty of black artists who will make black music, but that's not where the marketing goes. That's not what we show. That's not what we do. When I came up, there were black artists everywhere. And that was kind of the argument too for a lot of people was, look, there's plenty of black people in the scene doing whatever, but we're not marketing them properly. Like, we're not showing that love anymore. A lot of it is historical. A lot of it is a lot of people who've been legends and around for a long time. But normally when you get the influence of where things are going and like, let's advertise this person and that person on whatever labels I'm not going to name, it's hardly people of color. So
1,000%, and that's a lot of that is I had a good conversation with the head of drum and bass arena. Yeah, I was their first artist. Their first artist ever, to represent drum and bass arena. And I said to them, hold on a minute, you're doing it, because that whole documentary was supposed to be 20 years of drum and bass arena.
Right.
Yeah. But when it came out 4 years later, it was a drum and bass documentary. So the statement.
Right. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying this whole time. Yes, it should not have been marketed that way.
Yeah, and he recognized that.
You just validated arguing from Valiant.
Yeah.
like a month now.
because it's their
I
opinion.
love a good validation.
I'm saying, because it's their opinion. You understand what I'm saying? It's like,
For sure.
that's how they see it. It's drum and bass documentary. This is how we're telling our story. No debates then. But when you say it's the drum and bass
Movement.
whatever,
Yeah, this is the real deal.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that's when we spoke and he says, yeah, we messed up there and we're going to rectify, we're going to do part 2 and did it. And they recognize, and that's all you can do. You know what I mean? They did an amazing job.
But would they have recognized it if we didn't say nothing? That's the part that I'm tripping.
Well, you know, that's what I mean. But you got to know the situation. What I explain to certain people is the reason why the black artists I took this personally, because half of these people have saved their lives. Half of them people will be in jail. Yeah?
Right.
Robbery, and you know what I'm saying? It saves people's lives. Yo, brought man out of ghetto, gave them a chance to do something they love. And then when they've done this thing for so many years, and then you see a definitive picture and you're not in it, you know, your people are not in it, it offends you. Do you know what I mean? It's just like,
Big time.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
And when I first watched the documentary, like, when I first watched it, I didn't take it that way. I was like, all right, that was cool. And then we thought about it, and I was like, yo, the part that bothered me the most is when you went through the timeline and they showed the animated, like, they didn't even put you guys there. And I was like you couldn't even just make a little blurb in the joint, like,
this
how
happens.
hard was that to do? So, you know, because when the other thing, you have to understand too, like, people who work in media and understand, like, it was possible I gave the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you guys didn't have the time to do the interview, maybe whatever. But when you purposely see, you watch it back after the fact, you're like, all right, you could have definitely elaborated on some things, and it looked like you were excluding people personally. And
Well, but you
like
got to remember,
you had to talk. And
their story is from 1996. Yeah, so that's where the definitive line lies. If they're telling their story from 1996, the drum and bass history from how they see it from 1996, then there's no issue. No one can say nothing.
Yeah. If we had it through a lens of this is drum and bass arena, no one would have a problem.
No, that's the thing here, and it's just that, and they understand that, and they're gonna rectify it. They're doing loads of different things now. It's all this. All conversation is good. Yeah, we can't look at it in negative because they've done an amazing job of what they did. It was a great documentary. Amazing job of what they did. It's just like when people make an error, and it's a big error because it affects a lot of people, but it's a minor error because it's somebody's looked at that and thought, yo, one, it's COVID time, everybody's watching. Two, let's change it to something else because I don't know, it might be a better type, it might be a better selling point or whatever the reason was, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't work out how they wanted to because it didn't, you know, it had that backlash kind of thing. Then that opened the door. From that, you got to remember, from that documentary, then man started coming out the woodworks, and then my man's telling about his hospital story, and that's his experience, yeah? And you got to respect what he went through and how he went through, and he tells him his experience. That's good. I ain't got no problem with man saying that and this and that, and he explains and that, and you look at it, yeah, the project and thingy, they could have included black people and more black people and producers and looked at the jungle, but they're running a business. When it boils down to, they are running a business, so they've got to look after their hospital artists, which is down to, you know, it's down to the thing here. The other thing is, it's up to them, but I'm looking at, when I'm doing a project, when somebody sends me a demo, yes, I'm listening to the tune, shaking my head, this tune. I ain't thinking if he's green, black, blue, or purple, or whatever. I'm not interested. I'm listening to the music, and that's what it boils down to. You understand what I'm saying? Then I'm looking at the person. And this person say, chat on the phone, yeah, safe, and da-da-da-da-da. Oh, yeah, where are you from then? You start thinking, oh, maybe it's black, maybe it's white, maybe, but then you look at them things afterwards, yeah? But it's not an importance. You cannot start saying, we got to sign black artists because we're not being represented.
Also, I don't want the token vote either. Don't sign black artists.
I don't think everyone keeps on talking about that. Everybody keeps on saying, yo, you don't sign a tune just because it's made by a black person, but nobody is going to do that. Literally nobody's going to do that.
That's not true.
By the way,
that's not true. There are people, there's a lot of that going on. We can break that down in society right now.
We're going to see, but like, it's not like, hold on. It's not like white producers like have a monopoly on good music. Are you kidding me? That like a lot of the big white producers out there are putting out garbage. and it's being marketed. I'm sorry, it's true. You know it's true. It's garbage, and it's being marketed and making it into like the top 10 charts on Beatport. It's because of who they are and like what they built or what label they're on. It's not necessarily the quality of the tune.
There's a unhealthiness of label jumping that goes on that I think that also caused a lot of those.
That's the biggest problem.
Yeah,
that's true. And then there's also artists who get signed. I'm sorry, because they're friends with the label owner. Or whatever. I mean, that's always been the case. I'm tired of people talking about, women getting online ups because of, for whatever, maybe they slept with the promoter or whatever, that whole thing that used to go on years ago. Like, as if the other DJs were friends with the promoter getting on the lineup was any better or worse of a reason. Like, the same thing that's happening with this whole, like, the fear of tokenism is fucking bullshit. No, sorry to swear, but it's bullshit. It's a moot argument. The white artists are not representing when it comes to putting out purely good tunes. Okay, it's not like we're saying, we're only seeking out black art. That's not going to happen. Label owners that are watching the bottom line and are taking care of their business are not specifically going out and just sign them because they're black. That's not what's happening. It's not what's going to be happening. We need to
that's what some of them would have done.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
There's a fear out here, yeah? I'm telling you now, there'd have been token gestures. And I'm saying to them, yo, don't even go down that route, yeah? You signed and use it on talent, yeah? Purely simple. Let's take the colour thing out of it. That's my whole argument about this whole thing, yeah? Take the colour away from this thing, yo. Because at the end of the day is, you look into grime, man are thriving in grime, and it's a load of black kids. Yeah, why? But you load of black kids making it, but it's a load of white kids that are going to it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't take. It's
but
just, that's what people listen to.
If you applied that to hip hop, where 90% of the paying audience for hip hop in the United States is white,
there you go.
Then you can't. But that's the thing. That means that that means that hip hop in general in the United States would become all of a sudden whitewashed. We can't. I mean, that's
no. It's different though. The reason why there's a difference there. Look, we call out things like tokenism because we see them. We've been down this road a million times. We know it. We see it. We recognize it before. They're calling it virtue signaling now or whatever. There's none of this is new. We knew this was going to happen. We don't say it because like we don't think it's going to happen. We know this what you're going to do. The first thing that happened after all these protests is people like, oh my God, I've been so upset that I haven't been representing anyone. Let me tag 50 artists you should have paid to. That doesn't do anything. Like, it's not, that's token.
Well, you got the occasional white friend phone call too as well.
It's like a list of people. If you really want to make change, instead of putting up 50 people inside of a tweet, why don't you spend the next couple moments to go through each one of those artists and explain what their powers are? Like, that's how you create change and represent the people, not just put them on a quick list or a playlist that you're going to listen to once and no one's going to pay attention, or that anyone sees that and goes, oh my God, I can't believe there's more black people there. There's so many forms of tokenism that is a thing. Now, the same thing goes with label owners, with hospital and things. You are pressured to do these things. It's like, all right, well, there's no black representation. Let me stop and rechange everything, and I'm just going to put this one in power to appease the people. That doesn't help anything. So you have to actually tell people, look, don't just hire them because they're black. Just understand that there needs to be an equal opportunity for them, and that hasn't been shown before. Whether you believe it's happening or not, for some whatever reason in the back of your mind, you're not giving those same opportunities. I'm not naming names who've already pointed out to that.
Right.
We're not a gossip channel.
All right, then let's look at it like this. Let's look at it from a different perspective. Yeah, let's look at it from a different perspective. We're talking drum and bass and this and that and that and this. Def Jam back in the day, all the artists were black. All of a sudden, I know Rick, the producer, Rick Rubin. Yeah, he found Beastie Boys, the Great White Hope. Yo,
they were punk rockers.
Yeah, blam. Hold on a minute. You weren't seeing the black people say, "Oh no, no." Come on, man. This is music. We're supposed to make changes. We're supposed to influence people's lives. Yeah. My thing about, especially when it comes to drum and bass, that's the reason I left hip hop in the first place. Yeah. Especially when it started getting political and started talking about this and that. I didn't want to hear that in my music. I was going through that in the streets and thing. My music was my escape. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be free. I wanted to be, what's happening, bro? From where you from, mate? Hug that man and cuff him and move on. That's how I wanted in my music. When the whole thing that's blown up, that now, it's the guy had valid points of what he was saying, Chris. You know what I mean? He spoke his heart and he's true and da-da-da-da-da. But from when you speak to the originals, they'll tell a different story to him. Yeah, because we've been here from the start. You understand what I'm saying? We're being on the start, and we're deep in the middle of Russia. We're not standing in London, yeah? We're in Russia, we're in this place and this place and that place and that place, and they no black people in sight. But you're on stage, they're showing you love. Yeah? So that's how I see it. Yeah, you got to look at the bigger picture. You can't just point out, oh, you know, that man and this thing and that thing and that thing and this thing and that thing. Look at the big picture on everything. You know what I mean? I spoke to Tony, I spoke to this man, I spoke to that man. I know people are screwing about the thing because it highlighted the situation in our music. We know, but we're still thriving. Yeah? I don't care what you say. Yeah, we still working. Do you know what I'm saying? The old guy's still not working. We're not getting the props on the middle class things. We can see it. But if that's their business model and that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. But they've been pulled out now. Now it's been highlighted. Them man are scratching the head thinking, yo, you look now on all the live stream, you'll see a black guy on there. Yeah? That you wouldn't have seen a month ago. I'm talking about on other people's, you know, the so-called, do you know what I'm saying? Because they're like thinking, oh, we don't want to, you know what I mean? I've seen it. I've seen the change and it's positive, but it's not what it's supposed to be about because it's tokenism. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But hold on a second. But can the argument be made that cumulatively speaking, that the multiple examples of tokenism that are happening will eventually lead to a true increase, even incrementally, of the diversification of drum and bass infrastructurally? I'm talking about like getting a few more black DJs involved, getting a few more women involved, maybe a few more people of color or women involved in like
many women in
the
this
office.
game now, it's untrue. The women are being represented. Black people are not going to get represented until these men stop making this noisy thing. Yeah? Yeah? It's that simple. Yeah? It's that simple. I don't care what you want to say. The pop music thing, yeah? It's like, just make pop music. Do you know what I mean? Half the thing. Now you start seeing your King of the Roller vibes and them roller vibes. You're going to start seeing man coming back shaking their heads like, yo, that's why jungle's so popular. Because you go to jungle dances, you see a balance. Yeah? Yeah. And people remember it's like that. But you go to the drum and bass people, you ain't seeing a balance.
You got to fight for the
We need more of that here.
It's what you're offering on the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why it was so important to bring World of Drum and Bass to Atlanta. I spoke to you personally. You know, that was like a main thing because we were starting to get drum and bass back again. But I wanted to make sure that when I linked up with MJ and Elements and Elevate and Torch, that we would all work together because I didn't want to have this sect of styles of drum and bass. Because like you, when I first got into drum and bass, I loved the fact that it was for everybody. Like that was the whole point. Like I'm a dude who grew up in the hood, went to school in the suburbs. Like I've seen every social class possible, and it allowed me to be the misfit that I was, that I this ragtag of personalities, and it led me to experience music that was just so pure with no bounds or whatever. And that was back then. So I wanted to get back to that, have a World of Drum Bass come through, we had LTJ Bookham come through, you know, to make sure that it wasn't just about, you know, the tech steppy or whatever. Like, let's get back to the melting pot of drum and bass and what we used to have parties on a regular basis. Philly was like the mecca back in the day. It's like no matter what it was, we brought everybody through. There was no, I'm not going to this party because somebody's playing. You went to every party because you knew it was going to be different every single time.
That's what's missing in America. The gang mentality. I tell you, I deal with it every year. And I'm saying, Jeremy, don't want to book him because respect Scott. I'm like, why aren't you guys talking and linking and doing a big party? And you know what I mean? I'm just like, yeah, why aren't you doing that? You know, look at big cities like Chicago. Bro, we used to do World of Drum and Bass in Chicago, bro.
Yeah.
1,800 people in there. Yeah. Metro upstairs. And then I'm like, I look and it saddens me. Yo,
as soon as we did Atlanta, man, I said, I'm not jumping in the promoter game unless we're all involved. You saw that World Drum Bass flyer? There was 5 promoters listening to the time. We were like, we're going to do it together or not at all.
And that's how you've got to do it because you've got to show unity and make statements. Everybody's working together.
It is important.
And that because once the thing grows, everybody eats. Yeah. You do a little night here, you do a little night here, you do a little night there. It's the same click. In New York, I never got it. I'm like, that. I'm like, it's New York City, bro. Hold on a minute. Everybody should run that thing. That's always been my argument. Bring them all through, yeah? open up room 2, do whatever. That's why when I done Miami, I'm like, if people in Miami and I've got the DJs there, and we can do something, put them on, yo. It's a representation, yo. You know what I'm saying? Because we're stronger together than we are solo. Yeah.
Yeah. And I like the idea of drum and bass being sort of like a smaller franchise ideal, mostly because everybody knows each other. So there's a little bit of unity within that factor of like, all right, this is going to be, these people are going to work together. These people are going to work. It's just that every time it builds, it becomes a bit of a competition.
People get selfish.
Right. And I think we keep self-destructing on that note. And the only way you're ever going to get past that is for people to see the actual bigger picture to what needs to be done. I for myself, speaking on World of Drum and Bass, I want to see World of Drum and Bass happen at like a Coachella one time. I want to see happen at one of these super huge spaces where we know, there's people are going to be there and enjoy it, and I just feel like we should not be holding ourselves back. Stateside speaking now, right? Because what's going on across the water, of course, we pale in all kinds of comparisons. But those little building blocks are the microcosms. Yes, we got to maybe do a few small ones to get to the bigger ones. I think that could be the overall goal for everybody here, just because it's still new to people. Some people still calling this fast dubstep over here, for Christ's sakes.
I think part of that change. Look,
Yeah.
I think this COVID thing is going to change a lot of things. You can't throw festivals the way you want to anymore. My only retort to what you just said is like, these opportunities should have been given to people from the forefront. Like we know a lot of these people who throw those major parties. We know the people who worked. I've played Coachella. I've done all these things. And the fact that we're not represented there is not at the fault of SS or at the fault of anybody else. That's the corporation. Corporations making a move. We have to do a better job of the powers that be letting us in. That's always been my thing. It's like there shouldn't be a problem why World of Drum and Bass can't be on a Coachella. There shouldn't be a problem for all these major festivals. I think the major festival thing actually, more than people blame things on dubstep, I think, I have already spoken to my piece about how I think the recession here in America was a bigger part of the downfall or the dropping of drum and bass attendance. But I also feel like everything turning into a festival here in America changed things a lot as well, because all the small clubs started to suffer because everybody was just going to festivals all the time.
Big joints.
So I think there's a different learning curve there and history that isn't being represented because it's a spectacle. While I love the spectacle, it's harder to bring in the old guard, so to speak. I hate that term because like y'all, I'm old, so it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I hate the old guard thing because it also, the problem with me, old guard, new guard, is it also shows that there was a gatekeeping aspect that I don't, you know what I'm saying? And I think we've kind of transitioned out of that at this point. So that's another reason why I'm using that term.
Yeah, again, just the idea of I've been literally, all of us here are literally creators of our own, you know what I mean? Like, we're finding ways to make our own things happen, and we're having a lot of progress, especially SS, of course, having a lot of progress of just progressing past. And I think you put that out there to show people this is how it works as far as the influence and getting up and being a part of something. And people just have to feel it. Get into those places where we can just you know what I mean, just push it like, yo, boom. And I think we just planted some seeds, us here, all hip hop lovers. This is why you got some people knocking on the door like, yo, so what is this techno shit you're doing right now? You know what I'm saying?
You sell out.
No, the sellout word is gone. The sellout word right now
nobody's worried about that.
Yeah, sellout is underground now all of a sudden, but whatever. I'll leave that alone. But just the whole ordeal of I think the right people, this is probably what it is with me. I feel like the right people are right now at the forefront stateside to push this thing the way it needs in places. Like, there are a lot of people who are very optimistic, and they want to go ahead and curl into these places and just do solid parties. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I see. Maybe I'm too optimistic. Maybe my glass is
No, I agree. I agree that I think after all this too is the building of the foundation, because everyone was releasing records to play out. That's not the case anymore. You don't have any shows to go to, so what are you doing? You know, I've already seen a regression of people who are planning. That's all they're doing is just planning for shows to come back. While I've been preaching to everybody, like, look, it's dangerous to even throw a show right now. You should be focusing on whatever endeavors you need to, so that you do not rely on that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of forced all of us to step back. We've spoken about it numerous times already. Step back creatively and really see what we're trying to do with that. So, you know, my thing, man, as you've been doing this before I got here, you know, and like you've been doing it on a consistent level ever since. I think World of Drum Bass needs to be on everybody's list, and the fact that it goes out every single year and hits all these cities without any kind of compromise is a beautiful thing. So
it is. I think drum and bass plays an important part in stateside, you know, growing as a scene. Simply because,
for sure.
You know, go ahead.
No, to my idea, I said this about 5 years ago. My idea, I'm gonna link up with Thingy, do American Wild Drum Bass, Wild Drum Bass project, an album. I set somebody to the task. So I think this is gonna expose Americans, because that's all I got was because I'm speaking to promoters. You got to remember, when I speak to promoters, we should bring some American guys. I've been shouting this thing for years, bro. American guys, DJ and MC, you know what I mean, to represent. Oh, well, no, we can get them anytime. That's the philosophy. We can get them anytime. We can get them. But I know the big picture, because if the guys are big there, they keep things going all year round. The scene grows, yeah? And then when we come, we just put the icing on the cake, yeah? So my thing is, then I thought to myself, I want to do a World Drum and Bass tour. So we got World Drum and Bass. We got 2 rooms, World Drum and Bass, and they got a USA room like I do in Miami, which I know works because I've done it.
Yeah,
they've got 2 side venues like LA and certain places. Got 2 venues. Let's do this. Yeah, but I can get. That's the mentality, and I'm head against a brick wall. I try to do this album project, and all American artists, nothing but headache, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just like, excuse me. Oh, so am I going to be on tour then? Excuse me. Who are you? I didn't even know these people was. So if I put a track on an album, do I get to do the tour? I didn't even know these people was. And I just thought, I kept getting all this, all this kind of hierarchy thing. And I think to myself, I'm just doing the project to promote you guys, yo. So I just had to step back from it. I thought, you guys need to do your thing. Somebody in America needs to do it. You know what I mean? But I was looking at it from a perspective, I'm telling people to do this thing for years. Nobody wants to do it. Let me try and kickstart and help body to do it. But I don't have time for the politics. You know what I mean? I'm not,
Well, it's not just the politics. You also got to watch out for the people who are in it specifically for themselves. I'm not going to name names about that. I do want to bring up one question that Brian G actually brought it up on the podcast sometime last year. When do you think Formation's going to start rolling out some remasters of their classics?
We're doing the whole thing. Mate. That's what we've been doing in lockdown. Well, we've been remastering for the last 2 years. That's exciting. Extensive. My thing is, my dilemma is like, I don't want to just, there you go, and put it out. I want to drip feed it. I think our contribution, I've got so much music, it's stupid. I'm in a dilemma of distributors now, because I've got 2 albums worth of music, 2 years worth of music to give them, because the whole back catalogue, none of it's online. So I've got all the albums, all the new stuff, all the stuff that should have been out, and I'm sitting there thinking, who do I use? In COVID times, I've got to think, if we're not out here making money, I've got to use my catalogue, content, because I need to, because the old stuff promotes the new stuff, because the values in the old stuff, the new stuff, it's all the old tunes people want. So I've got to utilize that money to promote the new artists. So I'm looking for my best deal possible. And that's when my change is. I'm thinking, yo, I'm not just going to give this, man. I'm not just going to give this out to somebody that's not going to value it. Do you know what I'm saying? So in the lemon now, I've got 2 companies. It's down to 2 people. I've had 6 people hit me up about putting can we put out one of your old tunes? Like random, not labels, just like man that are doing vinyls and stuff. Because they see the value in the old music. I can't understand. So I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm sitting on a bag of tunes. I've got to make sure I do it correctly, because what I'm trying to do, we're in the process of setting up a charity now. Because my thing is, I've always wanted to give something back. And I'm like, not at the time, not at the time, not at the time, not at the time. I've got the logo designed, I've got everything designed. But with England, to set up a charity, you've got to have a board of directors. You've got to register the company. You've got to do the whole thing. Now it's a matter of getting, I need 3 board of directors. And it's got to be impartial. Do you know what I'm saying? My thing is, I want to set up this thing. We call it D&B for Life. I want to set it up so everybody in every country has their thing and their charity, and they donate to their cause. So you imagine, once a year, there's an event that goes on all around the world, yeah? The DJs all play for free because that's their contribution. So when they're doing tours in America or wherever, and we've got an off night, wherever, we're doing a D&B for Life night, yeah? We'll pick a different city each year. That's the donation for America. What charity? We're doing some voting thing. What charity deserves? Who needs the help? We're trying to build a government, a body for, we should have, as drum and bass as a business, you got to think of what our music are doing. We've created history. I'm talking about it was all a genre of music, yeah, that's in the history books. What body is there? What organization is there? Like, for helping mental health, artists that have got struggling, depression, do you know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. This should be a body. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the mobile, you know what I'm saying? All those, that's how we've got to be thinking. Got to stop thinking individually, like, oh, yeah, label here, label there. We all should be coming together at one point, once a year, to do a contribution that can help so many different people. Do you know what I mean? I'm speaking to, obviously, Simon's my boy. You know what I'm saying? Baseline Smith, Groove, and all that. But it's got to be impartial, because I need somebody that understanding that how to run a charity. The implications and all that, because I want to do this thing properly. Do you know what I mean? That's probably one of my second biggest goals, because we've been doing this drum and bass thing in our sleep while drum and bass formation. It's just like, yeah. You can always make it better. It can always be worse. But to do something from the grassroots, that's important. That's going to make a difference. When you hear people, oh man, that tune changed my life. I look at it and think, yeah, okay. No, what I want to do is something that will really change your life. Do you know what I'm saying? The same thing with the my bass disciples project, the gospel project. They're my 2 big things that I want to do, because I know they will help people differently, because music will always lead the way. Do you know what I'm saying?
Tell me more about that project specifically, because I know you've been on that for a minute. But
because when I got saved, you got to remember, we all have a blessed life. Yeah, we're all traveling the world and experiencing. Me as a black man, I didn't go. I left school with the basics.
Right.
I didn't go university or nothing like that. Everything I've learned off the streets. You know what I'm saying? Literally, not on a drug thing, but how to run business, how to market business. You got to remember, my company, how I sit back and say, how am I built this company in Russia as a black man? Our thing is probably the biggest brand, second biggest is private station, private station, was there, the national station. How did I get into this position in Russia? Do you know what I mean? I shake back and not hospital or not this man or not that man or that man, because I'm just thinking, I know I've been blessed. That's all it is. All I can say, I've been looking, I've been blessed, and I had the philosophy of helping, coming in, helping the marketplace. But still, 12 years later, doing major events there every year, even the tough times we there. And I'm thinking to myself, I've been blessed. So when I got saved, that's when my eyes got opened. It was about me, myself, and how much money I can make? Yeah, let me run over here. Let me do this. Let me do that. And don't stop and like, yo, see you later. Not thinking about you. Now, my eyes are open. It's like someone's taken a bail out of my eyes and like, oh, I can see that man struggling over there, you know. That man's talking to me. And before, but it got one ear because I'm busy trying to finish that tune, or I'm busy trying to do that. Now I'm stopping and listening and thinking, oh, damn, yeah, really? And getting time to listen and take it in. Because when we're busy in a lifetime, we listen, but we don't hear. You know what I mean? We do not hear. And so you don't know what people are going through in certain times. And a certain thing you can do, I spoke to an artist today, in fact, a girl that's going through something, you know, and she was like, yo, I'm really glad I can talk to you. Me and another person is chatting to her. And I'm thinking, I'm here, man. You do tunes for me and da-da-da-da-da. But to her, it's like life-changing. She said, if it weren't for you, I don't know if I cope. And when you hear things like that in general, you think, wow. You know what I mean? The input, the influence that we can have on a generation of people. So my whole base disciple thing, I got saved, and me, it's like winning the lottery. Because it's like, we're walking around here now, and it's like we're working to live instead of living to work type of thing, you know?
Right.
I'm thinking to myself, if people just step back and look at the stuff that they don't need, yeah, just like we're about to do in COVID, the proper people are realizing there's much more important things. So this to me has been a blessing because people like to stop and look at their lives. So my whole base disciples thing is, how can I influence people, yeah, through my music, yeah? This is what I've been blessed with, this musical talent, this generation. I can reach an audience by a press of a button. So I can't sit back and think, yo, I'm staying in my studio making tunes for me. Let me try and reach a generation, say, yo, yeah, that's over there, but check this thing out over there. This might, you know, this word or this message or something might tweak your depression. You know what I'm saying? Might help you do something different. It might change your life in decision making. And that's what I feel my calling is now. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I understand the blessing, yeah? And to me, it's all about you're blessed to be blessed. That means it comes to you, but if it stops at you, then you're not blessed because you're supposed to bless other people. You understand what I'm saying? So the philosophy, it's like a wave. And if you think, imagine, if we all done that, I get blessed, you get blessed, he gets blessed, you get blessed, and it goes down the chain. But if you get blessed and it stops at you, and then I look outside your yard and you're driving some big Mercedes, and then you see a Marty down the road on some push bike, you get me? Can't afford milk. You understand what I'm saying? Right. We changed the world, bruv. You know
I like to say for the record that it's really the other way around, but we'll talk about that another.
I don't know what you're talking about. No, but that's those two things go off each other. What I was going to speak about before, you and a few other people are a very select few who take this tour thing, and it's more than just a tour. Like, we're having conversations behind closed doors due to COVID, due to the racial anxiety that's going on here in the States. It's created a lot of change, and that's why we spoke about the tokenism and all that, is because we're behind closed doors trying to make change, to make things better for not just ourselves, but for people in the future, so they have some place to go to, so that we don't keep repeating this process. And you've always been like that. You've always had World of Drum Bass that was more than that. I've seen you do World of Drum Bass, like just last year, you invited Fight Club so that people can get healthy. Like, it's always been a thing that you've added on to make sure more than just a tuning or just a bunch of DJs traveling around. You've always had something behind it and supporting artists from all over in many different ways. And you're just continuing that legacy on now, man. And that's really important.
Absolutely.
Dude, absolutely. Positivity out here, really.
Not to blow your head up too much, you know what I'm saying?
That's my whole point. When I hit before, I'd be like, yeah, I feel good. But now, to me, I know it's not about me. Yeah, I'm just a vessel. Yeah, to help bless others. Right. I understand that now. That's what I'm saying. When I say my eyes are open, I understand that 1,000%. Yo. Like I said to you, I spoke to Armand, we need to do some link up and do this podcast and link up and do this. In these times, we got to be creative. You know what I mean? These are the best times now for people to be linking together.
Yeah? And have these conversations, man.
And have conversations,
man. Having conversations, because, our lives are busy and we all striving. We all got to eat. We all got to pay bills. Yep. We've got to do that anyway. whether COVID or no COVID.
Or no COVID.
We've got to do that anyway. That doesn't change. The way we think about it should change.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? The way
1000%.
we go should change.
And that was the importance of this podcast. It's like, and people, it's cool that the three of us have linked together. We linked through Simplify, and we had all these talks, and we'll have more of them on for everybody listening. But it was really important to me to grab artists and as guests that I've grown with, that I know a side that a lot of people don't get to see. When we had Goldie on, Alcine, AK1200, we get to just sit and chat and talk about real life stuff like we do. The most important thing you said, not the most important, but one thing that you said when we started this podcast is, I have a really hard time working with people that I can't just sit down and have a cup of coffee with. We've had numerous amounts of those and that's how we built our relationships back in the day. It was never about the politics. It was like, yo, we just sat down, kicked it, respected each other's talent. We sat down, and after that became friends. And a lot of people don't see that. And especially with the way politics go and the way things are being advertised, all you see is the market. They don't get to see like this is a real homie that I sit down with and compare ideals with on a regular basis. And that's why it was important that we started this podcast, to make sure that we can reach out to those. And we've got guests coming up who are the same way. You don't get to see that side. It's in this place of COVID and changing the conversation and adding some substance. It's like, we're not marketing people anymore. Let's get down to the no person, so you can go and listen to their music and appreciate it in a different taste,
And that's very important. And you doing that's kicking me up the behind, because I need to do what you guys are doing. Yeah.
We trying to catch up with you, dog.
I spoke about it. We've got a group on WhatsApp, Music House, with all the artists, and we all chat every day. That's been our connection. It's been a great thing, but we just chat, this and that, but connect is different. Get me? Chat about this and post tunes and what you think about this, and then it's just like, see you later. But something gets a bit silly sometimes, so you got to think, no. But this, I'm supposed to do this thing. You know what I'm saying? Where the mans are chatting, just what's happening, groove? But you know what I mean? Yeah. And people see the real thing behind being an artist and what artists go through properly, and understand when you're becoming an artist, you've got to represent a certain way, Do you know what I'm saying? You've got to represent, because at the end of the day, we have influence out here. Especially, I'm not bothered about other music. Whatever they're doing there, it's what we do. Because this thing is underground. It's come from us. You get me? It's come from love. It's not being created from. You got to remember, no majors dictated drum and bass music. Yeah, we have. The majors might have took a little piece of it. Just we'll take a little token thing because it thingy. But we've controlled this.
That needs to happen too. Like I say all the time, like, don't get the pop aspect of things twisted. You need that. Like I've had this argument numerous times, and that's why I think it needs to be marketed in America differently. The word pop music doesn't have to be an evil thing if you control the base of it. And that's why I always said, like, I understood parts of having it in a circle, because we do it in hip hop. Anybody wants to front like we don't, you're out of your mind. There was definitely people to this day who make sure the purity and the sanctity of it is intact. So like, I get why when you don't let anyone in, then it becomes a problem. And that's a whole different conversation that'll probably lead to another hour of this Zoom call. But as long as you did what you were supposed to do, let the radio do that. That's fine. All that does is create a wedge. It's going to be 25% real, 75% crap. And that wedge will get bigger with the more people you bring in. So
absolutely,
let the pop world do what they do. And people go, oh man, that was cool. And then they listen to that. And then someone takes the responsibility of telling them where it came from. You do the same thing with roots. We could talk about mumble rap or whatever you want to do all day. But a lot of those people find those artists. And if you're smart enough and pure enough, you will take that whoever you can grab and bring them back, and the next thing you know, you're listening to the Royce the 5'9s and the KRS-Ones of the world, and you start to realize where it came from. The problem is when you have those rappers who don't really care about the art form, you have that go that way. But that's going to happen. It's the natural progression of things. It's just what it is. So as long as we keep connecting and we keep doing what we're supposed to do, everything will be all right.
Yeah, and one more thing to say for the stateside: build industry. We have, we need more media outlets. We need more outlets for people to expose the who are, what's going on, what's it about. Honestly, it's become fun to reintroduce drum and bass to new crowds. I don't want to touch on it too much, but I rocked somewhere where it was a huge dude from what's that big Burning Man, and we took half of his crowd and brought them in with us, and they didn't know what this was, but they were enjoying themselves to the next level, to the point when the main set got on, they still were with us. But I'll stop there because I don't want to be
you know when drum and bass is playing in a dance, I don't care what else is going on, you can't beat the vibe. Yeah?
No, you can't. Never could.
You can't beat the vibe, yo. I don't care what it is. When a DMB thing is popping off, you can't beat the vibe. And that frightens some of them people, yeah? They're frightened some of them. I tell you, it's frightened some of them people. Like now, in the UK, over the last year, the influx of young kids, it's never been, it's crazy, bro. Yo, it's crazy. I'm talking about young 17, 18 that are into drum and bass now. That was never really the case. Yeah?
Yeah.
It was always for the older
Now
people.
it's just like, even in my town, I was like, I went to see Sub-Zero in February. I'm thinking, yo, he's playing at some pop club. I thought, I got to see what this thing going. God, what's he like? There was nobody over the age of 19 in this place.
Wow.
I'll tell you that now, yeah? There was an MC who was one of brethren from Nottingham. He was probably 40, but the rest were yeah, and I was just like, and it's the next generation, you see? Do you know what I'm saying? The only thing about them, they're fickle. Yeah, if they're not guided properly, they'll be just running about, but they're in it.
That's the youth period, man. That's just how it goes.
In it hard. I'm talking about. I tell you what, it's like that's how Toronto used to be back in the 90s, bro.
Yes, indeed.
Bro, I used to go to Toronto. Yo, the kids, school kids, was like, yeah, Jungle. It was just like it was bigger. It's probably bigger than the UK, mate. At one point, you go
Toronto.
It was bananas.
insane.
Yeah, Toronto was the UK for sure.
Mate, insane. And this is my argument now. Yeah. The Toronto scene, yeah, is. I look at all the tours that are going on. Yeah, we've not been to Toronto in 5-6 years. When we done the last time, it was Jam. Yeah, I look at every tour that's going on in 5 years, and if there've been what, you don't see the headliners going to Toronto, not at all. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's
I know my boy Destiny doing. I know Destiny doing it every now and then, but they've got big business now. They're doing major things now. So
they transitioned for sure.
Generation, you don't see them. That's why I'm saying to people, that's why Toronto is struggling, because they're not getting fed the music that everyone else is getting fed. Do you get me? And that's a gamble. I can understand the gamble and the risk and all that. Rob, I do Victoria on a Tuesday night by myself, my own party, and get 150 people. So my argument is saying, if I can gamble and do 150 people, under 50 be there. Because I'm talking about Canada as a whole. We do a whole of Canada, and we don't do Toronto. We do Kitchener. Yo, you know what I'm saying, for Brian. And I'm just like, come on, Toronto, come on, somebody. And you've got them people working hard, doing their things. And I know things have changed and lost venues, but it's Toronto. And it always be Toronto.
And that goes back.
You know what I mean?
That goes back to the festival talk. It's like, because let it be known, Destiny throws fantastic events. I love everybody up there. But that's the thing, is once you continues to succeed and it gets bigger and bigger, you start throwing these bigger events, and then the smaller events suffer. That's not a fault of anyone. That's just a natural progression of things. But you got to have somebody else to take over that smaller part, or else
that younger influence, somebody that's prepared to do it slightly differently. Yeah, it's got to be done slightly differently. Look at it from a different angle, maybe, because it's a major player. Toronto's always been a major player. My first agent was based in Toronto.
Bro, Toronto was like the second.
Who was that?
Someone who lived in America, and went to Toronto. Yeah, Toronto was like going to the UK for us.
Yeah,
there was no difference.
And that's what I'm thinking. Oh, please, Toronto, and the big and I tell you what, America and Canada has going for them that a lot of people miss promoter-wise. Everybody wants to go Vegas. Everyone wants to go Miami. Everyone wants to go New York. That's your unique selling point, yo. If you're saying I'm going to put on a party in New York, and you think it. Look, there's so many big artists that miss New York. They don't play New York. It's stupid, bro.
I don't understand it. Yeah, that's why we're glad Atlanta's popping again, because we're like, yo, everybody wants.
You know what I'm saying? You got to utilize the tools that you have.
you'd be surprised how many people are like, yeah, man, I've got family in Atlanta. And I'm like, what? Why aren't you coming here all the time?
That's amazing.
We're trying to change that. Like, yeah, man, and the movie scenes here now, like Atlanta's been cracking. So all my Atlanta people, you already know.
That's what America's unique selling point. People want to go to these cities. So if somebody grabs it, I think, like Vegas, we do our own party in Vegas. We've always done it with Tasha. You know what I mean? A club got involved, this year, but we've always done our own party in Vegas. Tuesday night, jam, bro. Yeah? Because I've looked at it is, the artists want to go Vegas. You get me? I'm talking about your artist, because the artist one that draws. You get the artist on the right lineup, that's 50%, 60% of the job done. Yeah? Because the artist is the draw. If you say, I can say to a man, I've got Vegas on the thing. What? Yeah, man, I've been thinking about the money.
Everyone I've talked to in the last, maybe, I don't know what they got going on. Everyone I've talked to in the last 2 years that wasn't going for EDC has been like, yeah, I think I'm going to go play this Vegas joint. Every single one of them like, bro, it was cracking. And I'm like, I mean, it's Vegas. Like, what did you, you know what I mean? I haven't been back yet.
It wasn't like that. That's what I'm trying to, it's been a struggle, but somebody took it, grabbed it, and doing the Tuesday night, my guy, and it's good. There's loads of cities like that in America. That's what their unique selling point is.
When we open back up, Vegas people, remember that I want to go there. So
it's wrapped in bacon.
Yeah,
Miami. I mean, that's why conference was so good, because everyone wanted to go to Miami. It's Miami. You know what
Miami used to be
Conference was different.
Oh,
it's a little
everyone
more.
You know what I mean? Everybody wanted to go to Miami. That's what your unique selling point. People don't want to come Leicester, bro.
Hey, I've been to Leicester, man. That was a party, man. I've been there. I stayed at your house, and then we went to that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about when you see Miami or Leicester or Miami,
it's a little
where do you want to go? You get me? This is what I'm trying to say. Everybody wants to go to Miami, so it becomes the money question becomes kind of secondary if you're using it to the right tools, and that's what America has going for it. Yeah, Atlanta. I said to Simon, "What we doing in Atlanta?" What? I haven't been in Atlanta in ages. I'm really looking forward to it. I was like, Atlanta. So do you know what I'm saying? These are your unique selling points.
Damn you, COVID.
Selling points, bro. Unique. It's like Toronto. Everyone wants to do Toronto. I was like, come on. It's popping. So coming out the other side is you guys get your heads together and just look at, whatever you need to do going forward. We're here. Do you know what I'm saying? We're here. Because at the end of the day, the bigger picture is realistically, if the local scene works, everything works.
Yep.
That's it.
But that's the key. You know what I mean? That's the key. Especially in New York, it's so bitty and boppy. It's like, it's New York City, and it's like, oh, you've got Benjamin. I'm like, it's New York, mate. I just struggle when I'm thinking of these places. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's New York City and they've got no venues. I'm just like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? It's difficult. I know it's difficult because,
Where you going, Track? You all right? Something on your mind there, sir?
I say, I want to say that New York is figuring out what to do next. I think we ended up lastly in like some of the biggest venues I've ever seen in New York City, which is the Avant-Garde, Brooklyn Mirage thing, and they seem to be doing things in there. So that was like the a stepping ground, because before that we went back underground for a bit. Webster Hall was closed, and now they opened back up, and another side of Brooklyn has something else going on, and that's where it kind of stopped. And I want to say, before COVID, curiosity was high level stateside wise, which is why it's kind of like, well, what's going to happen when we finally get back on our feet, depending on length and time. And the most we can say is that it's on the artist to keep a lot of the music and we find different ways of just keeping it bubbling, so we can, by the time them shows come, Amani's going to have like a 2-hour set by the time shows come. You know what I'm saying?
We got to be, and to be honest, we've been working on an idea for America for the last probably 7-8 years, but it's always working on and it's exactly what it needs. But every time I get my hand around it, it's like the politics. Can I be bothered with the politics? The mentality.
Hey man, call one of us.
I was gonna say, do it through Semper Fi. It won't be a problem
But
anymore.
it's not America. It's something for America.
No, I got you.
We've got an ideal location. We've got an ideal spot. We've got an ideal promoters to do this thing. But I know it's going to take a year to do it, to bring it together because of the politics. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, have you seen that thing happening in Malta? Have you seen that? You seen the flights for that?
Yeah, is that really happening?
Yeah, bro. Wolf, North Base, mate, he's doing about 6 festivals in 3 weeks, bro.
Oh, wow.
Mate, if you see the lineup he's just launched.
Yeah, it's intense.
It's bigger than the one in the UK. You've seen it.
Yeah.
You've seen the one with what's the name? He just launched another one, yeah, in August. Ridiculous, bro. Insane. I'm just like, you're looking at lineups thinking, hold on a minute. You don't even get them lines for festivals. America needs a drum-based festival.
Yeah.
Small thing, just like what we're doing in Bulgaria. It's only small, but we get 700 people through the 3 days. It's wicked. It's the vibe. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's like a holiday. It needs its own thing for the Americans. Because a load of Americans people travel to Outlook. A load of Americans go to Sun and Base. You know how far these places are, bro.
It's tough to do if you can do that here.
This is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? And we've got the location. We've been toying with the idea for the last.
Well, I'm about to jump in that WhatsApp conversation, bro.
You know what I mean? We're toying with that for 7 years. Man.
We've got
a space. We've got a place where we can go 24 hours.
Need a Semper Fi room.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
24 hours, but it's just what it is when you're starting a festival like that, the key is getting the artists. Yeah, the key is getting artists because it's so far. You've got to rely on American artists. A lot of American artists don't draw. Yeah, you're still gonna have the expense flights and da 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 da. So we're looking at it thinking, hold on, we need to do this somewhere if we're on a tour. So the artists are there and we can say, yeah, because flying them from UK, flying wherever, it's going to be a mad expensive to get them to this place where we want to go because the first 2-3 years, it will struggle to break even. Yeah. So we've got to make it cost effective.
So you're looking at the long game now for this then.
Oh yeah, always long game. We done a Bulgaria. This is a 5th year. And what
oh my God.
But I think that's one thing that promoters don't always keep an eye on is they don't keep an eye on, all right, if we do a series of events, at what point is this going to be like a business? At what point are we going to break even? How long are we going to lose money? How much money are we going to lose? How much money can we lose? That kind of thing. And I don't think a lot of people are willing to do that because they want an immediate financial return.
Well, because we haven't reached that level of like real business here in the States.
No, definitely not.
You know what I mean?
I also think that's our fault, and I think we can. Yeah. I have no. I'm associated with we all are, but I'm associated with people who are ready to look at that long term and work it. I mean, that's what we were doing here in Atlanta and bringing that all in. We called it pouring gas on the flame. Is all of us uniting together and just saying, okay, if we're going to do this, this is going to be a collaborative effort that's going to last for years. This isn't about just throwing a quick party because we're going to try to bump the scene. Like, let's actually start building an infrastructure that lasts. You know what I mean? So, I think that's been needing to happen, and it's going to take more than just Atlanta. It's going to take everyone from across wherever and like putting our heads together. And
I'll speak to you about the idea. I don't want to put it on camera because I know someone will try and.
No, just tell us now. It's fine. It's just the internet.
We're editing. Don't even worry
about it. No, don't say anything. We're not editing.
I'm not saying it now. Don't worry.
Don't listen to Track. Track gonna get you all jammed up.
I've got WhatsApp, man.
Mine, stop recording.
Yeah.
So we know what works. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It's implicating it to make it work because the unique selling point is the artist. In America, getting artists over there is the hardest play. Like Wolf, them people are getting them artists to get to Malta. It's past Italy. It's like it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But he's got 100 artists on one of the nights, 100 artists on the week later. It's not like you got 10 man or 15 man going. That's 100 people. Yeah, artists going over. Just in. It's like, I'm thinking, yo, it's next level. I'm not talking on them levels. I'm talking about this thing. The only idea is it's a collaboration. The only way this would work, if we do it, we've got the spot. I just need to check the location. We've definitely got the spot. Definitely got the people.
All right, don't say no more. Don't say no more.
Yeah.
You lead on to
Monty, we are like what? We're
we're
just under 2 hours. Just know when you get to the last few minutes there.
yeah. So real quick, also I want to ask, because we are getting close to the 2 hour mark.
Yeah.
I love the fact that we never pay attention and we just end up here 2 hours. That's the best part about this show. I would ask you, do you have? Normally, what we do is you send them to me beforehand, but you woke me up at 9 a.m. So sorry. If you got 2 tunes, you think you can throw me 2 tunes to play during the podcast tonight, because this is all being recorded. Yeah. So send me 2 tunes if you can, and I'll talk all over them so they don't rip them. You know what I mean? But if you can send me 2 tunes that you wanna, whether they're old tunes or something new you want.
I've got 2, 3 albums of music that nobody's heard. Music's never the problem. It needs timing now.
Right.
I'm putting it at the right time in the right times now, because my stuff's not noise.
Let's play a formation. Let's just play a formation classic and dedicate it to the whole SS.
Yeah. So send me 2 tunes. I'll play them during the podcast.
Yeah.
But S, man, I really appreciate you
Yeah, definitely.
stopping through and having the chat with us. It's long overdue. I also want to thank you in front of everyone for the influence you've had on my career, for helping me, putting me under your wing as well. If it wasn't for that mixtape, man, I don't know where I'd be right now. That Red Supper's Jungle, I know it like the back of my hand. Skibber and Foxy, like,
it was crazy.
blew my mind, man.
I'm on the balcony around there, and it's just
Yeah,
like
man.
looking in Philly back then, and all those people. I was just like, I walked in there like, we're in America. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Bro, those were the days.
It was unheard of, bro. It was insane. And that was proper. That
Yeah,
wasn't
man.
a gravy thing. That was proper jungle there.
Facts. Dark rooms, man. The dark room back in the day. Shout out Henry Adu, by the way.
Henry, yeah, hit him on
Hell
Instagram.
yeah.
Baby. Yeah, man. That's the
Big
roots.
parts, you know what I mean? The roots. So many people. And we need them people that took this thing and ran with it. Yeah, there's not enough people doing it, yeah, in the States. Doing that and running with it, yo.
I'm trying to get back to that, man. So it's like, look, man, all the new cats are cool, but I need my SS's, my Baileys, I need my Kenny Kens in here. Like, I need to go back to that. You know what I mean? Like, especially too, because during, like, right before, obviously, all before COVID, it was changing that way. We were having better parties. Not better party, excuse me. The vibe was different for the small room events. Like, we had Bookham, we had 200 people in there. That was max, and you couldn't move in there. And that was the best vibe we've had compared to even the bigger parties we've thrown in a while. Having Goldie come through here would have been live, dude. World of Drum Bass down at the lounge room at the bottom of Believe, which has been super popping. To have that there would have been super sick. We had DRS come through. We had Jumpin' Jack Frost. Like, all these, like, my super vibey, you know what I mean, drum and bass as to getting back to the roots of things. Those parties were going off. So I'm really happy it's going back that way. I can't wait till we all sort this out and get rid of our president so that we can have parties again.
I like how you threw that in there. Wow.
I can't wait till
Go to the intro, you get it? So close to the end, mate.
we trying, man. I'm tired of saying, like, well, let's see how the next 2 weeks go. Like, it's getting annoying. Like, you know what I mean? It's like we're the land of the free, and we're the only country that can't leave now. That makes no sense. But
It's crazy, isn't it? You're on lockdown. It's just like,
yeah,
and you ain't going nowhere too soon. I can tell you that now for nothing.
Nothing.
It is what it is. We'll figure it out at some point. But really want to appreciate you for coming through, man. And
Definitely.
Super
Definitely.
blessed. And we will talk off cam about some other thing.
Yeah, man. Blessed.
Yeah,
God
man.
bless everybody. Stay blessed. Never stress. Peace out.
Yeah, big love. Let me stop this recording then. Sheesh.
What's good? What's good? I did a wardrobe change. I'm chilling, you know what I'm saying? I hope Yo, shout out HyperX and Champion, by the way, who sent these Jones.
I did like about
Quick little
6,000 crunches.
Yeah,
I'm good.
you know what I'm saying? We was just working, you know. I wasn't eating snacks at all. That wasn't. That wasn't funny.
I did not eat a bowl of Golden Grams.
We was chilling like we should do this more often.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
you
We shouldn't.
know.
That 9 a.m. is harsh.
Yeah, it is. But
Hey, so y'all don't go nowhere because we still got music to play. I hope you guys
got like a
enjoyed
half
that.
hour left. Yep.
Yeah. We normally go for another half hour. So no, you're welcome, everybody in the chat. I appreciate y'all sticking through. And shout out to S. We really appreciate him for coming through, sitting
Big
down and
salute,
chatting
man.
with us. I've been friends with that guy. We've all been friends with that guy from the beginning. He's seriously a major influence on a lot we do. Shout out my ATL fam in the chat. Y'all know what it is. My New York crew, I see you too. We got some music to play. You know what I mean? And,
Music.
He sent me 2 tunes, so I'm gonna play them.
What you got first, bro?
It's funny. No, there it goes. All right, I thought we had another situation. The pot is back to our old selves. You know what I mean?
Some things just never change.
No. I got it.
A few moments later.
Tunes like that are so abusive. So I'm gonna just punch you in your mouth for 3 minutes and then whisper in your ear in the end. You know I love you. Like, come on, man. That's mean. Five. Was that too close?
One of those. You lucky we got COVID right now, because if we was at a party,
Yeah, we'd both
I'd have broke my leg again.
Armani, why don't you tell us about that shirt and headphones?
They ain't pay me. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Fuck them.
I'm a Super HyperX fan. For those who don't know, is what I do use for all my headsets and my gaming. So an opportunity came about. They actually did a super sick collab with HyperX and Champion. What's funny is it's a custom reflect. They have this shirt, the hoodie, and some slides. They went to Dale. They are already sold out. They're gone. So I do not know if they're going to do another round. I do know they have a bunch of new collabs coming up. So if you want to follow them, you can go on Instagram right now at HyperX and at Champion. I'm sure you guys know how to follow them. It's not that hard to do. But yeah, they hooked the brother up, man. It's funny. Like I said, it's a custom reflect. When I look at it right now, it looks gray. So the fact that it's popping off the computer screen like that, the way I see it in the...
It's got like some purple going on my
like,
side.
It's crazy. So like, you know what I'm saying? They really...
Looks like the old school National Geographic hologram covers, like where it's like kind of rainbowy and shiny.
It's got the Champion all down the sleeve. I'll put pictures up on my Instagram, man. But yeah, they hooked the brother up, man. Shout out HyperX. Shout out Champion. We really appreciate it. All love from the ROTI and Poutine podcast. I can't talk now all of a sudden, see? Dot said big up on your Metallica shirt.
Oh, I saw.
Yeah.
Master of Puppets all day.
Yeah.
That's good.
When I was a kid, when I was a little kid, I'm going to tell a Master of Puppets story real quick. All right. So I was a kid, and I know you are. I know this is a total white kid story too. So
no, you're fine.
So my brother discovered Metallica, and the first thing I heard from him was Ride the Lightning, and I was like, this is great. My mom's like, what is this garbage? And I was like, this is even better than great. Okay, so fast forward a little bit to the summertime. We went to the park. My dad would take us to the park every day. And we got to the park, and our family car was a van. It was carpeted. There was a bed in the back. That was the family car.
Good times.
Open up the side door, play Frisbee, whatnot. Like, a little, not too far away was this blanket, and 4 people on the blanket, and they had a boom box. It was like 2, 80s metal dudes. Like, the one guy had a half shirt.
Oh, with the fucking wristbands with the spikes on the side kind of dudes?
But it was summertime, so not really. He had the actual sweat wristbands.
Okay.
But a half shirt, cut off jean shorts, his friend kind of similar girls. And I remember I was like, how old was I? I was like 9 or something like that. And I was like, I bet those guys have sex. they were like, to me, they were like some of the coolest dudes I'd ever seen, right? And so they all ran off to the playground or something, and I snuck over to their blanket and I popped the tape out of the boombox, and lo and behold, it was Metallica, Master Puppets. I was like, oh, this is great. So yeah, that was the start of my love affair with old school Metallica. No, I did not steal it. I put it back.
I feel like you stole it, and now you're trying to.
No, I had to. I had all of everything. I didn't buy anything.
I don't know, Track. What you think?
I think there's more to the story in some form. Did you at least play it while they were gone?
No, they were playing it on the blanket.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, this sounds kind of like that band that my brother brought home. I like that band.
I think you lying.
No.
I think you stole that tape. You stole that tape, though.
No.
Why'd you steal the tape, bro?
No.
I mean, it's cool. You just be like, yeah, I was a rebel back then. Like,
my first concert was Metallica. My first concert was Metallica, and my friend and his mom let me sleep over that night and lied to my mom and said that we were going, like, oh, we're just staying in and like watching movies and stuff like that. Took us to the Metallica concert and stayed over that night. Went to school the next day. It was like the greatest day of my life.
Did she know that, or did you just rat yourself out? Because there's still things I don't tell.
My mom doesn't listen. My mom is like physically afraid to touch computers and cell phones. She won't.
Okay.
So she'll never. she just
tell us all kinds of stuff right now. So then to let us know. Yo, man, we are at the 2.5 hour mark. That
we are.
A beautiful mark that we normally reach. What does that even mean? Anyway, we had a good time tonight. Big up SS for stopping by. Thank you, every single person that was in the chat, is in the chat, and we'll be here next week. We've got a special guest. I'll actually be able to tell you a little earlier because we're starting to line them up now. Now that we've got some consistency going. What's next week? Nah, we don't do that, bro. We don't do that. You have to wait.
Come through, Dot. Mr. Three Dots. You know what I mean? Come through, bro.
Just assume it's gonna be good. I don't know what this
What's
new
with
whispering
your creepy?
Yeah,
this is like, ugh, dude.
I got a mic now, so I get to do this. I got my setup back, man. It's because MJ said I was always mumbling, so now I'm all up in the mic. You know what I'm saying?
If you were mumbling, you'd be like triplets.
Can you hear me?
We're almost missing the mumbling Amani right now.
Yeah. You want me to go? Because we can go back to this when I was doing this. Everyone get upset with me and be like, "Damn, why you ain't interested in the show?"
Like, what you
like,
say, buddy?
I'm just chilling, goddamn it.
You speak up, kid. Speak clearly.
12:30 in the afternoon. Anyway, no, seriously, I appreciate everybody for stopping through. We definitely shut up, Raw. I see you. Shout out to my ATL crew, my New York crew, everybody who stopped through. Once again, it's been a very successful podcast.
Definitely.
Thank you to Value. Thank you for Track for doing that. Shout out to HyperX, and ROTI and Poutine will be back next Thursday.
Tell a friend, tell a friend. We here for it.
Come on through. Until then, everybody, please take care of yourselves. Understand that mental health is not something that should be played with. If you need something to reach out to someone, I hope you all stay well. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we will check you next week. Big love. Look, I got buttons now. Watch this shit. Bam! You see that? You can still hear me talking. You know what I'm saying? We gonna go. Pow, pow, kick.